What's happening, guys? Welcome to our very first episode on TwoWheels&Tattoos. Today we have André David with us, veteran motocross rider, racer, and mechanic. And today we're going to find out a little bit more about him, who he is, what he's about, here's a little bit of his history, and just have a fun chat. So let's have a good day, let's have a good chat, and just, talk shit. As we always do at the track, you know.
That's all I can talk.
I think that's what we're actually just best at, just sitting and just talking shit with everyone. Yeah, man, I think it's always like the most frequently asked question is like, how did you start riding? Like, what was your first bike? How did you get into riding?
Well, I was 5-6 years old, and I remember my parents took me to the Pretoria show, and they had these like little quad bikes, where you can pay and just you do all these little,
run the circle,
little circles, and you just ride and ride and ride. And I remember I ended up spending all my dad's money instead of doing any roller coaster rides. I ended up doing this on this quad bike. They ended up having to pull me off of it. I ended up being smacked. I cried to the car. I think they saw that I wanted a bike. It was just my dad had like super bikes, when I was a kid. So I kind of like grew up thinking and knowing that I'm gonna have a bike.
Yeah.
And then when I rode those, it's just and I will never forget. And you usually can't remember when you're like 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah.
But that's like a memory I remember, laying in the back of the car crying because my ass was hurting so much where I was smacked so much to get off these bikes. And then my first ever birthday, my 6th birthday.
Yeah.
My parents actually bought me a Suzuki JR50.
Oh, shit.
And then, we just, at the time, I think my dad had a DR400. We ended up riding in fields here in the back in Centurion.
Okay.
And and then I can't remember if someone suggested to my dad, maybe we should go and try some flat track racing at Mayhem in Victoria West.
Yeah.
And so we went for this like first race, but I remember my first ever kit was like BMX kit. It was like this open face helmet, like proper old school,
Yeah.
And and I went there and I just loved it. And it just kind of like grew from there. And then obviously then we went to another race. And then I started beating 1 or 2 kids. And then it got more serious. And then my dad coming in with his tuning skills. And
yeah. It's like, we're going to make you fast.
Yeah, we're going to make the bike fast. We're going to, and that's the product we have today.
That's you. Yeah, man. I mean, we've ridden like maybe 3 or 4 times together, and like you've shown me quite a few things I've actually put into practice. So thank you. But I mean, the guys when we rode at Aurora, like the guys sitting on the side, they were like, dude, I got to come up to you and say like pure perfection. Like watching you is like pure. I was like, yeah, it is, man. Like watching you ride is like, it's really cool. It's,
I'd say people think that it looks good and it looks smooth, but when I'm riding, I've got so many things that goes through my head that I know that I'm doing wrong.
Yeah.
That I know because I'm older, I'm not as sharp on certain things anymore, and
so you kind of like analyze everything that you do a lot more, and
and then everyone comes to like, oh man, you've gone so fast through there, and you're flying through this, and you're doing that, and I'm like, maybe it looks good to him or you, but in my mind, I'm like, man, I can go 1 or 2 seconds quick into this corner. I can stay low on that jump. That line, I'm getting too much wheel spin. I can feel my suspension not being right there, and I'm not braking. It's just like everything in one lap.
Yeah.
And it's still like, so,
So that's like that racing mentality that you've always had your whole life of like, analyze every little thing that you do, go, as you said, like, I'm not leaning too much into that corner. I can, take a second off here or there. Like, that's always that mindset that you would constantly have, like, every time that you ride.
Yeah, I do that. And it kind of gets frustrating because people say to me, "Oh, just come and ride for fun. And I try,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I just once that thing kicks in, it's just like I want to go fast.
Yeah.
So I've tried doing a little bit of enduro riding, like tech riding and stuff.
Yeah.
I had a KTM 300. I sold it again a little while back. I ended up tearing my hamstring, having the splits on the rocks, you know, where the bike actually, because my legs are so short.
Yeah.
You need long legs and stuff, you know, in order to do those
like rock tops.
To be a rock rabbit.
Yeah,
basically, you know,
mountain goat.
Mountain goat, yeah.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't do it, and I ended up being sidelined. Actually, that started when COVID came.
Yeah.
And because a lot of tracks were shut, we ended up finding ways to just keep going on the bikes.
Yeah.
And I did that for a while. I really enjoyed the social side of it. I liked how the enduro guys actually stop. You know, you ride a little bit, you get very tired.
Yeah.
It's very mental. It's very long.
Yeah.
It's I've got a total different respect for them now, because in my mind's always been about how quick I can do stuff.
Yeah,
and then that stuff you cannot do quick.
No, you gotta like slow yourself right down.
And then I had a FX 350 Husky as well for a little while, and I did a lot more. Like, I didn't do any cross country races, but I did some cross country riding,
Right, yeah.
and I actually enjoyed that more. And that's when I realized, you know, that my thing is the speed thing.
Yeah. You just want to go fast all the time.
Yeah, it's just I think that's just in me.
Yeah. Born and bred speed demon.
Yeah, because I'm so short, like a little pocket rocket. You know?
Yeah. What's that old saying? Dynamite comes in small packages, man.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, then clearly, like, you know, with the whole racing aspect, like, if you had to go back and really think about it, what would be like your greatest or your most fondest like memory from racing, like, you know? Like, if you could go back and relive that one specific or like those few specific memories from racing, like, what would they be?
There's quite a lot. I think memory-wise, I think there's a lot of memories. I think what I liked and what I enjoyed was when us as a family, like me, my brother, my sister, mum, dad, we would travel to when I started doing nationals here.
Yeah.
We would all bunch into the front of a Ford Cortina bucky.
Yes.
We get into the bucky, and we all drive down to Hammersdale to go and do a national. You know, like there was no money to stay the night before or to have a big thing to drive in. So all five of us were in the front of this thing. I had to literally sit like contorted, my leg up, to be able to change gears. So those are memories I remember. You know.
Yeah.
And then other things that stood out was probably when I finally managed to go over to Europe. First time I managed to get on a bike there, and then the first time I managed to go over to race for South Africa in the UK and in the US.
Okay.
I think those are like, even though I did it a lot later in my career, I never had the money. I was always a privateer kind of thing. So yeah, there's a lot of memories. I've seen a lot of places. I've seen a lot of countries. Met a lot of people, different cultures. And we all just we're just one big circus, basically. I think. And we all like, you know, you go to a country where people don't even talk the same language, but you start making bop bop noises.
Yeah, and
know,
everyone like knows exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
And you talk some French guy like, go bop bop, and then, you know, they just understand what you're saying. So those are all memories, you know, and it's something that's in here, and I haven't got pictures to show you, but it's good.
You know, it's always cool to have those memories, you know, like to be able to sit and go like, shit, like I was packed in a Ford Cortina. Like, those things are not big at all. Like, you kind of like 5 people in one of those. You might as well just like get one of those like clown circus cars.
My brother with his like fart antics, he's terrible with it.
And no aircon as well. Like, the only aircon is like, that window, you got to get that down.
And I sat in the middle, so it's like, and then my mum wouldn't want to open up because she's holding my sister.
Yeah, and her hair.
And my dad doesn't want to open up because it's too cold outside. Oh man, and I'm just like,
I don't know how I'm gonna do this race today. Like, I'm like being fumigated. I'm contortionist. Like,
I slept between races.
Yeah.
And no, but you're on such a high because you're a little kid, and you know, you just wanted
to like enjoy that experience and like take it all in. Yeah, no, that's cool, man.
Definitely.
Like, not a lot of people, like, I mean, it was something I was actually thinking about the other day, and like, chatting to a few other guys, like chat to Shane often, and it's the weird thing of like the international quality of racing compared to what we have here in South Africa. I mean, you said that you've raced internationally. Like, what is it actually really like? That's at like the level of competition compared to what we have here. There's such a giant gap between everything.
Yeah, it's strange. You can go and race races, say in the UK, where when I was doing the British Championship for instance, you would race all the British Championship riders.
Yeah.
Then you'd race one or two other events to actually just for a little bit of practice and stuff.
Yeah.
And you'd actually ride against 30 or 40 other riders on the line. They were totally different riders you've never raced before. You go to another area, you ride another 30, 40 guys, different guys again. The weekend after, you're back doing another British Championship round, or you're doing some international race, say over in Holland, or you're over in France or something. And it's a constant, and I think that's where, here, I think everyone knows what the other guy is going to do.
Yeah, yeah. Because you're always against that same guy.
It becomes boring, and that's one of the reasons why I left. Yeah. Why I stopped racing in South Africa. It's like it's always the same 4 or 5 guys. You start knowing this guy likes doing that in that corner. Yeah. That guy likes doing that. This guy, this is his fate halfway through the race. So I will catch him. When you get over there, all of a sudden you've got 2 or 3 guys that just want to clean you out, want to take you out. You got, but you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's so like it's always like a difference. You never know what to expect overseas.
And they're just a lot more professional. Their team setups. They've got a lot more money that's behind them. But the industry is much bigger.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the South African setup is not as thingy.
Yeah, it's not. We're not as geared up for to race professionally on the same level as overseas. But I mean, you look at what's it, Glenn Henley, I think it is. He's doing out of Africa Yamaha.
Guy Henley.
Yes, Guy Henley. Yeah. I mean, he's pumped quite a bit of money into the setups. I mean, he's got an international looking rig where he's got his mechanics and everything. So maybe that's a good thing for racing in South Africa, where they being given a platform to kind of work on.
Yeah.
Do you think if more team owners in South Africa could offer that to riders, and then try and establish an international connection with the manufacturers?
I think there's been a few times that I suggested, if you were asking about the differences of the racing. Yeah. When you race over in Europe or America and stuff, they've got their dedicated MX2 class, MX1 class. You do not have riders that ride MX1 and MX2. It's kind of like the guys here, they race MX1 and MX2.
Yeah.
It's like the same guys, and sometimes I feel, the manufacturers, but they want to win. They want the best guy. I get that, but they should have dedicated MX2 guys and dedicated MX1 guys.
Yeah.
That focus on that class, and there should be some kind of rule when they get to 23, 24 years old or something.
They get pushed up.
Or 25 even maybe, that they have to go into the MX1 class.
Yeah.
And that is their class, if you can ride a 450 or not. The MXGP guys has to do it.
Yeah.
They have to move up at the age of 23.
Well, I mean,
even in America, if you are a top rider for a certain amount of years, scored a certain amount of points, from my understanding is that you have to move up.
Yeah.
So and in a sense, I think those bikes could have been given or sponsored to an up and coming high school rider.
Yeah.
Someone that might have talent. They might not even need to give him the bike. Those guys will probably be prepared to buy the bike to be in the team in order to get noticed.
Yeah.
You can give them a chance for a year or two. If they don't perform, then you offer it to someone else again.
But I mean, that's the thing. If you look at manufacturers and, even just dealerships, how many of the bikes that they bring into the country that either just doesn't get sold, And it just goes back to the dealership overseas or the manufacturer overseas. Why not just say to the teams, we have a bike, you know, instead of giving it to the riders, say to them, learn on it. We'll give you like a probation period, see if you can actually ride in the class. And, you know,
I don't know if we have that many bikes that actually goes back.
Yeah.
I think our industry is so small that they literally send, you know, like I know, for instance, Kawasaki would only bring in 10 bikes of each per year, because they know that they can sell them. I think Yamaha also, I know there's some waiting lists even for like the YZ85s and 125s. So it's not, you know, I think maybe the only ones you probably find are the KTMs that there will be maybe an abundance of.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I think our industry is just too small. And the thing is, when I was racing overseas, how they did it there is what you did it through a dealer. Most of the sponsors I ever had, and even if you look at the big teams, you'll see that they're sponsored by, say, a shop. I mean, even like in the States in the old days, it used to be like plain a Honda or Chaparral Yamaha or
Geico,
which are actual big shops.
Yeah.
So they are actually selling products for people. They're actually selling bikes, you know. So you would, like here, you get help from Yamaha South Africa or KTM South Africa if you are a factory rider. Over there, they did a structure through, like I would get deals via a dealership there.
So like Rocky Mountain.
And they would probably say to you, okay, we can get you a bike, but we get it at like a dealer cost or something minus a certain percentage, or we sponsor you the bike for a year. And because they are selling, say, Alpine Stars or Fox or whatever brand, they then give you whatever through their rep system, because Thor would allocate, say, 10 sets of kit. Because they sell so much. And then that's how they help their riders. And then obviously if you start featuring more, then, you know, you start signing up and have bigger, like better deals, you know.
And like the better you do, obviously.
You start having like the deals as, you know, like Bradshaw, Purdon, or, you know, the other guys had. Where you can actually get paid for it and to do it properly.
You know, and I think at the end of the day, that's where we're struggling in South Africa, is that, you know, there's not a lot of that opportunity that the riders are being given. You know, it's the basic. Also, it comes down to like the financials of it. I mean, you go to, say, Bronco or Aurora, and I mean, the days of we've ridden on a Sunday, and like the tracks are pretty much dead. Like, you know, you struggle to see the guys racing. I mean,
I kind of get the feeling that your kids who's on 50s and 65s, some of the parents really live out that dream through the kid, you know. Instead of, you know, they should just enjoy it and build. They should actually focus at 85 big wheel 125s. Once they get to that 12, 13-year-old range, we then they start having an understanding of what exercising is, what a diet should be. You know, like
proper training and
like
everything.
push them then. You know, until that point, I think they should just be shown basics training wise, and you know, if you're going to be quick, you'll be quick.
If you want to be quick, and if you want to get quicker, you'll put it in.
I rode 85s against Langston, against Grant Langston, and Grant was just naturally quick. He was just fast, and he was 4 years younger than me at the time. He was just tiny kid, and he flew. He absolutely flew, and we all was thinking, we are in the shit. This kid is quick.
We're done. Might as well just go home now.
Yeah, but we tried. But he raised the level, you know. He ended up breaking his legs that year, which is I won't say a bonus for us, because you know,
you don't want it to happen, but you're grateful that it happened.
But it was a learning curve for him too. You know, I think he learned out of it, and he struggled the whole year, which ended up that year. I ended up 93. I ended up second, losing the title to Daryl Hancock.
Jeez.
But what I'm trying to say is, you should only start from the 85s, 125s onwards. I think it should start being a serious thing.
Well, let's see if the kid wants to do it, you know, like, as you say, like the 50, the 60, and then like the 65s. Like, when they get to the 85 and the 125, the kid goes like, yeah, cool, like, I'm enjoying racing, I want to keep doing it, then cool, invest that into it. But a lot of the kids, you know, don't really want to do it. They just want to like, I just want to ride for fun.
They just want to ride.
Yeah.
And you can spot the ones that do have talent. You know,
Yeah.
you can see them, the way that they just attack stuff, and some of them you can see they don't even get proper training, but you can just see the kids
Just knows.
He's got something in him.
Yeah. He's just got like that switch that he just knows like, okay, cool.
Yeah. I mean, I used to do a lot of coaching. I had a little team in the UK for 2 years as well, where I had kids riding for me, and I think they were both like talented kids, but you know, you can see, you just notice when a kid wants it.
Yeah.
You know,
like that hunger is there and like that passion. You know.
And then the unfortunate thing comes in with motocross again. It's you need to have money as well, and sometimes you get that kid that's got all the talent in the world. You can see that they're fast, but they're riding with old gear, old bike.
Yeah.
And
it's like that opportunity.
You can't. Unfortunately, it's like giving money at a stop for someone who's begging. You know, you keep giving money away.
Yeah.
And you're not getting that
return. Basically, like
it's not gonna get him there because it might help him for now.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna help him in 2 or 3 years' time.
Yeah.
You know, unless someone picks him up. But yeah, to be picked up.
It's
you almost need the money in order to be able to progress.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, look at like our rugby players, like, you know, unless your parents are so loaded and, you know, your parents go to the scouts and go, hey, here's like 10 grand, go watch my kid. You know, it's the same with like any sport in South Africa. It's if you don't.
Well, it's what you were saying about the big teams.
Yeah.
You kind of like got to buy into the team. It's not very often that you get offered a ride on a team.
Yeah,
I mean, I can give you, I think it was 2002 that I was riding on TM125s in the UK, and one of their riders got injured. I think it was Jonathan Pettit, and he was their GP rider and stuff. So they actually offered me the ride.
Shit.
They said, you know, there's an opening on the team.
Yeah.
We've seen you ride. We think you're fast. Would you be interested? You know, you'd get 2 bikes, you'd get tires, you get the clothing deal.
Yeah.
You go and practice in a week with other team riders, and it's like, okay, no, that sounds really good. But it comes at a price tag of £25,000, and I'm like, I haven't got £25,000. The opportunity's there.
Yeah.
And I couldn't take it. I couldn't do it because I didn't have the money. The same thing again. I was offered a thing to go to the States with Talon Voland at the time, and I did same thing again, same scenario.
Yeah.
You know, they said like in the off season I should go and train with them in California and go and ride with them, and then go back to the UK. But you need money, you know, and I just didn't. I had to work in the week, pay for my riding on the weekends.
Yeah, as we do today.
Yeah, same as today. So stuff hasn't changed much.
No, nothing changes, man.
To be honest, no.
Yeah, but I mean, like going back to the whole international thing, is that, you know, if we could take everything that we have now and we go back 10 years, even 20 years for you, you know, I mean, you're a veteran, and you know, if we go back then and there wasn't a price tag on joining a team, and you could have that spot in a team of what we have available today, would you take the opportunity then and, you know, go, cool, like I would love to ride for Star Yamaha or Pro Circuit Kawasaki? Like they basically came to you like, here's a silver platter, choose. Like, would you take it?
Of course I would, yeah. I mean, it's
a stupid question, isn't it?
Every kid's dream.
Yeah.
I mean, you always see America.
Yeah.
America is like it's the hub.
Yeah.
That's where everything's happening. That's where the money really is. Where sky's the limit.
Yeah.
It's a difficult one. I think Europe, you got to contend with all the weather. I'm just trying to think what European team would be. I mean, the European team would be either the factory Yamaha, the Monster Yamaha team, or the factory Cowie team, or the Red Bull KTM team. I think those are the teams. I think, and then in the States, yes, obviously Pro Circuit.
I mean, you ride Kawasaki at the moment,
yeah. Well, I did until
you did?
last weekend, until I blew it up. I grenaded the motor on it, so Yeah.
That's gonna be a
And
fun
I
one.
sold my other one last week as well. So it's like, man.
Well, you have my bike, so just blow my bike up, and then we're good.
No, I'm not doing it, dude. I'm not doing it.
I give you full permission, man. Like, it's all good. Don't stress.
No.
You got to fix it anyway, so it's here to be fixed.
I'm trying not to use my credit card. No. I think I'm going to give that a miss.
Okay, well, the offer's on the table, so... Yeah.
I'll think about it. I might take this KTM. I think.
Well,
I gotta break it in for the guy. So I won't ride it as hard. Promise.
Yeah. But yeah, this is what, the 23, yeah, 250.
This is a 23 250. Yeah, I've never ridden one of them. So I've not been I don't know, the KTMs doesn't seem to suit my riding style. I just but I don't know what this 23 is like. Maybe I'll give it a go.
Give it a try, man. Maybe see you on something a bit brighter than a lemon.
They can spot me where the motor breaks.
Yeah. Hey, that's just André. Another engine. Here we go.
Yeah, just send someone out there.
Yeah.
Either a stretcher or a trailer. One of the two.
Oh yeah, just if it's not a stretcher and the trailer is needed, we'll just take a bucket as well. Because if like all your engine's on the floor.
The last time that happened, I just left it at the track. Just left it there.
Yeah, sure. Everyone else gets to like just get a piece of your engine in their face or like their chest, you know.
Yeah.
Souvenir. Take a bit of André home with them.
I try and do that when I do the workshop work. I send guys back there. Try and send them like if they proper blown up their conrods or something. I send that back, it's a little memento.
Yeah, it's like go frame it.
This is what just cost you like 12k or 10 grand.
Here's a little memory.
Don't do it again.
Yeah. Try. Well, you can't really say don't, but I mean like just try not do it again. Try not.
I don't like the word try. It doesn't. Yeah, just don't do it.
Just don't.
Don't do it.
Just as it is. No ifs, no buts. Just don't.
Just don't. Yeah.
No.
Don't be an ass. So, and if you are going to do it properly.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, explode it.
Yeah. I mean, you said don't be an ass, but I mean, which motocross rider isn't an ass? We'll try and like have a bit of fun with it, you know. Yeah.
I'll stay quiet. I think there's some people that would agree with you on that one, but yeah, let's.
Dude, you know, we ride dirt bikes, we have fun. You know, we only live this life once, and we enjoy it, dude. I mean, you love riding, I love riding, but I mean, you're also a mechanic. I mean, it's not an easy thing to be. It's it's a hard job.
No, the mechanicking stuff is obviously. When I was a kid, my dad had to always do the mechanicking work on the bike, tuning work, like I said earlier.
Yeah.
And then when I had the opportunity to go over to Europe to ride, I had to do it out of my own pocket. So I did little part-time jobs and jobs here, where I worked for Bobby Scott Motorcycles initially.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's mosquitoes. Where I kind of learned a lot on what to do on a bike, servicing wise. You know, just
get it going.
Tires and doing the top end on the bike, and so when I went over there, I worked on my own bikes, and that's kind of like where I learned. You know, and then the 4-strokes came. And I had to learn to work on a 4-stroke again. You know.
Yeah.
So as time progressed and years went on, I ended up having I rented a little like a barn on this farm just in Essex in the UK, and I started doing a little bit of servicing for friends and just doing their fork seals and doing top ends and doing a couple of things. So that's kind of like where the mechanicking thing came from. It wasn't a thing that I wanted to do. Then we ended up moving to South Africa, me and the wife at the time, and we initially did bike rentals. I did a lot of coaching.
Yeah.
And then the idea was to get people from overseas to come over. I would have a fleet of bikes. I would take them to tracks, and the workshop would have been to look after the bikes.
Okay. Yeah.
And then that was very slow. I started getting more workshop work. So I was doing a lot of coaching. And through the coaching, started, befriending a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then I "Oh, do you work on bikes as well?" It's like, okay, yeah, and then then they give your number out to someone else, and then I ended up being so busy with the workshop.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I bought all the tools, learned over time, taught myself.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I did do mechanical. I've got my N6 qualification.
Yeah, yeah.
In mechanical engineering, so I kind of got like I had like some kind of background on how things work, and
so obviously just gave you like that
breaks,
step.
why, you know, not always know why it breaks, but you got an idea, and that's where the mechanic, it wasn't actually something I wanted to do. I think it's just somewhere that I just went.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
or where I am now.
Yeah.
In any case.
But I mean, it's a good skill to have. It's not a lot of people know how to work on their own bike. You know. I mean, I
think people are scared to do it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think sometimes you just gotta
send it to someone you trust. Yeah, like I do with you.
Don't trust me.
No, I trust you, man. Like, you know, I've also done a bit of mechanical work. Like, you know, I worked in Yamaha down in Durban when I was still in high school, and you know, they also, like as you said, started with the servicing, like tire change and all that, like the simple stuff. You know, but when it comes to opening that engine, man, it's all on you, man. Like, you can take the bike. I'm cool. Yeah, you can do it for me, man.
And the stuff is changing so quick now. You know, like I've spent thousands on tools to be able to do like certain rear shocks. You know, to just load the nitrogen back into them, or to get certain things off on them, or and they keep coming out with new stuff.
Yeah,
you know, stuff keeps modernizing, and it's especially with the fuel injected bikes now. It's quite difficult.
Yeah, I mean, KTM, their new two-strokes are fuel injected with an electric start.
Yeah, it makes it very difficult to work on. So
yeah, it's crazy. Like,
it's evolving quick, and I'm actually worried with the electric thing coming.
Yeah,
because the electric's not my strong point. So but there will always be wheels on a bike. There will always be suspension.
Yeah.
There will always be linkages. So wheels need to be built. Suspensions need to be serviced still.
Forks, everything.
Yeah. So there is a certain amount of work, but it starts to limit and narrow it down. So your guys who understand electrical motors will probably have an advantage here. So
yeah, but I mean, electrical. I think the easiest way to like kind of get over that, just get a 12-volt battery and just like wet your fingers and just stick it on there. It's problem solved. You'll be done. We'll never have an issue with it again.
I don't think you've been properly shocked yet. I don't think you...
Oh no, I've had my fair share, dude. We had like a 24 volt batteries, like the starter. I dropped the spanner on there and I had to pick it up. It was not fun. I've had my share, dude.
I did that once. I think it was on my van, my old van.
Yeah.
I dropped the spanner and it actually landed on both terminals.
Oh,
and I remember it started glowing and I thought, shit.
Yeah.
Here's a problem. And it went, gong. Just actually popped and it's melted this spanner off. I've never, and that's when I realized that's a bomb. You don't
mess around with that. Yeah.
So you don't mess around with electrics. So,
yeah. At least you haven't, like, I don't know. Have you ever had a battery explode in your face? No.
I've still got my face. So.
It's definitely not something that's fun. But yeah, I'm glad you still have your face. You know, it's a entertaining face to have.
I've broken other things. I've touched, but that's all bike related.
Yeah, well, dude, you know, as you say, like
bikes, skateboards, BMXs.
Yeah. Just
like fights. Yeah, just scars, broken teeth, broken nose, broken fingers, broken wrists, cracked ribs. Cracked shoulder, dislocated joints.
Yeah, proper hooligan, like how we all were as kids. Yeah, I think you're still a hooligan now. You want to be, like, you try.
I want to be. I think the inner child in me wants to do it, but I don't think I'm a lot more sensible now. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, I guess that's part of growing up. I mean, you got to grow up at some point, but you know, as long as you still ride a dirt bike, you can have that little bit of like.
I never grew up.
It makes one.
I got older. My size.
You just aged, you didn't grow.
I just aged. I'm getting grayer, more wrinkles, but I'm not getting bigger. So I don't know. I've kind of like given up on that one. So I'm never gonna grow up.
Well, I can share some.
I'm growing older. But I'm not growing up.
Yeah, I can share some of like the height with you, I can bring myself down a bit. I also don't want to grow up. Oh no, dude. But I guess like with aging, like will there ever be a point that like you actually stop riding or?
I did actually stop for a little while. Still, when I was still in the UK, I think it was about 2009. I was riding for Colchester Cows. I was doing the British Two-Stroke Championships in 2007 and 2008.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it. I used to do all the MX1, MX2 British Championships and some international stuff. Previous years, I got tired of it. After doing it for like 6-7 years.
Yeah.
And then did the two strokes, really enjoyed it. In 2009, I got the deal through Chris Endine with Colchester Kawasaki in Essex, and I didn't even have to do any nationals that year. You know, I got given clothing and bike and stuff, and all I had to do was the regional stuff in their area, and I just wasn't enjoying it.
Yeah.
I was on the line. Every race was like, I was thinking, sitting on the line, thinking, what am I doing here? I'm not actually. I'm not enjoying it.
Yeah.
I'm not. You know, I'm riding this because I have to, because I was contracted to do it.
Yeah.
And which is also wrong. You know, maybe I should have said something earlier to them.
Yeah.
You know, that maybe they could have found someone else to ride, or so. Yeah, and I kind of thought, okay, maybe if it's just a wave I'm going through, I'll ride through it. And it got to the end of 2009. I was like, you know, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm finished. I just don't want to. I just the young kids keep coming up. There's every year, especially overseas. Every year there's 10 or 15 fresh new faces.
Yeah.
And they're all hungry.
Yeah.
And after you've done it for like 10, 12 years,
you just kind of like, oh,
just
cool.
I'm not. You know, I don't want to go and run in the snow anymore and get up at 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
And do my half an hour run and go run to the gym and
yeah.
can't really enjoy my Christmas that much because I need to start doing my diet, and I gotta. It's just like I've had enough.
Yeah.
And
you want to feel like you could enjoy the sports and live the sports.
I tried doing a look, and then I kind of stopped for a while. I bought myself a bike again. Did a bit of training, like training days. That's kind of like where Big Five Ventures, my company name, started.
Yeah.
You know, it was like a business venture. Big Five, me being South African, being over there. Yeah, we came up with the idea of, okay, why don't we involve South Africa, Big Five there? Like, if you look at my logo, it's got like all the little animals and stuff on there, the Big Five animals. And then I thought, okay, I'll do coaching and stuff there. And then as I was doing coaching, I was riding a lot more. I was riding with kids, and I was actually focusing a lot more on my technique again and not focusing on racing.
Yeah.
And then I started doing a few local races again, and I tried making a comeback. I think it was about 2011 or 12. But I threw myself into the deep end where I went straight into like the Red Bull Nationals in the UK, which had like really fast, like their top guys, and I got annihilated that day. I got taken out. I got annihilated both motos, and I thought, you know, no, that's it. I'm done.
Yeah.
Again, I'm done. I tried to do a little comeback. I felt good, and it just didn't work. And
you rather just enjoy it, man.
And then the years went on. I just did a normal job during the week and rode on weekends with friends, and we decided to move here. Then when I was back here in South Africa, I shipped my bike and everything I had there, plus some other bikes I brought back here.
Yeah.
Then started riding here again. All the tracks was new, people are new.
Yeah, different faces, different.
All of a sudden, I had this renewed energy.
Yeah.
And then I was riding well. And I did a race against a few of the top guys here, a couple of like local races, and I was only a couple of, like 1 or 2 seconds a lap off of them.
Oh, that's not bad.
And
man.
then like guys were saying, you should be racing, you know, you should be. And then Tony Riddell and Ryan Hunt came to me with the idea of maybe doing, what do I think of, maybe doing the Vets Destinations with them, or even doing Glen Helen, the World Vets. So I was like, okay, this is something new to aim for and to ride, and that's when the comeback came. And it we ended up racing in 16. I ended up represented South Africa in the UK. We just missed the podium that year. And Glen Helen, I was like running races in the top 8 in the pro 30 plus class against ex-GP guys, you know, really top names. And I had a few big guys because the moment was quite big for me, and I crashed the day before that. I really hurt myself really bad. I went at Mount Helen at Glen Helen, the one with the two big flags. I powered too much down the hill and I landed into the braking bumps.
Oh shit!
And as I landed, my hands basically came off the bars. It actually they ricocheted so hard, my hands came off the bars. And I tried to grab hold of the fender to try and
just like keep yourself on.
But the bike then hit, and then it literally shot me over the bars. And we, I ended up cartwheeling down that hill to the bottom. That was the day before the race. So the day I was so ill.
Yeah.
I was laying underneath the trailer. I was trying to hide so that people couldn't find me to do that. I was worried that they'll stop me from having concussion because I was like semi-knocked out. And I didn't want them to know.
Yeah.
And I was throwing up. I was sick. I was in so much pain I couldn't walk. And I just came back. I was sleeping. I didn't even do the practice in the morning. I just went out for the races, and I think I ended up 11th or 12th overall in that class still. So that's also, you were asking about memories. I think that's definitely a memory that sticks out for me.
Yeah.
But that was like my comeback, and then 16 and 17, and then since then I've not really raced again.
Yeah.
Since I've just been doing the odd thing here and there, and just enjoying my riding, and I'm still doing motors. I try and do motors every weekend still, and
Yeah, I mean, I remember, yeah.
I don't remember.
I mean, I think the first time I actually really met you was last year, April, wasn't it? At Shane's farm.
Yes, with it,
Yeah,
Shane.
You did that race in the MX3 Vets class.
Yeah, and I wasn't supposed to race. I literally just went down, took my bike down. Because I just rebuilt that motor.
Yeah.
I just wanted to break it in on the Wednesday. And then I was going to help a few guys race on the weekend.
Yeah.
And then everyone was going, come, you need to race, you need to do it. And I'm like, okay, I'm not really ready. So Shane ended up giving me a kit because my kit wasn't even clean.
I remember you were wearing the
gave me an
ASW
kit. And I was like, okay. So I just got tape and taped some numbers on my bike. I was out of shape so bad.
I remember you had this like giant like brown Santa Claus beard, and I was like,
dude, I think I weighed like 88, 89 kilo then, and I'm on like 75 now.
Jesus,
I dropped. I think that race made me realize how unfit I was.
Yeah.
Because I did like 2-3 laps and I was done. But I still managed to take the win there that day. But that's like the odd thing that I did. And
I mean, like, it's cool to have like those random spontaneous rides like that you at a track with your bike.
Yeah,
and
like
what I just did. Yeah.
Like last year we did the dirt bike festival. I wasn't gonna do it, but lastminute.com decision.
Yeah.
Throw me in there quick. I had a stand. I was selling some of my old kit off that I did with the rentals and stuff. And so my dad said to me, listen, we can look after the stall. You're going to do some racing, come back, and you come back to the stall again. And and I just did it that way. I ended up parking my bike next to Kayla Raff's bike. Both being Kawasaki's, and I've always helped her with a little bit of coaching and stuff. And so I kind of like had a set up there in the pits, and then I had the stall that I had to run. So I was like up and down and then race. And I won that day as well.
Yes.
But it's like, it's fun.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I can do a full season. I've been debating on doing some races again this year.
Yeah.
But I'm bikeless at the moment. Blew my bike up, so I can't.
The pros and cons of riding dirt bikes. It's either gonna break or you're gonna break.
Comes back to that thing again, money, eh?
Yeah. I mean, like, you say you're contemplating like doing a full season. Would that be like considered like a goal for you for the future?
I feel like I've got a little bit of unfinished business still in the UK.
Yeah.
Because the way I stopped there, I kind of like wanted to go back and do 1 year. I would have liked to do the vets, like a vets championship.
Okay.
Some of their vet guys are some of the fastest in the world as well, and they've got like 1 or 2 little decent championships there.
Yeah,
and they've got like good 30-40 guy lineups. It's not like here we have got 5 guys on the line.
Yeah,
you've got a good lineup.
At least like there's some healthy competition with that.
It's good competition. Yeah. So I was thinking maybe I could do that, and do some trips there and come back, but then obviously do a little bit of work there.
Yeah.
For like a week or 2 to kind of fund it, and That is the plan. I mean, obviously, I've got a lot of other things to consider. I've got my daughter there as well. You know, obviously she's still in school, so it all plays a role now. Like life's changed a little bit. You know, I can't. I'd love to just jump on a plane and just go.
Yeah.
But, yeah, she's got stuff that she's got to do and sports that she's doing as well. Yeah. And so the schedule has become very, very, very busy. And then obviously the workshop that I got to run. So
you got lights and water to keep going.
Yeah, so I don't know what like goals for the future, like workshop wise. Yeah, it's doing okay at the moment.
Yeah,
I think I've got a lot of work. I've got an abundance of work. I think I'm quite lucky. I don't really advertise.
Well, I advertise for you, so don't worry. I got you covered on there.
Yeah, but that's like word of mouth. So
word of mouth is the best,
and that's basically what I'm, what I'm working on. And it's good. Yeah, I think it's good.
No, you do.
I can do better, but I think I'm okay with now. Live for the moment now.
Yeah. I mean, don't kill yourself trying to like get $40 in to sort them out for them, like just to pay your bills at the end of the month. Like cool, get $20 in, still get your Saturday, Sunday, go ride. Don't have to stress like, a client phoning you like.
That's
Saturday
the thing.
morning.
That's why I said that I'm actually enjoying my riding again.
Yeah,
I bought myself a nice bike. I can go and do whatever I want to do, ride, and if they want me to do a little race, and if I feel ready, then I'll do it. If I don't feel it, then I won't do it. It's just as easy as that.
Yeah,
and if the money is there, then I'll maybe give it a go. If it's not there, then I don't.
If the money's right, I'll take it.
Yeah. So that sounds bad. Makes me sound like such a Jew boy.
Everyone's got a bit of Jew in them somehow, so. No, but I mean, if you're gonna race, especially, I think at I don't want to sound rude, but like at your age, you are, as we say, like in the veteran class. So if that money is right, it makes it a little bit more worth the while to race it.
Yeah, I think you got a lot more to lose when you're older.
Yeah.
You got like, if I crash on a weekend now, I can't work on Monday.
Yeah.
And it's not like when I was a teenager that I could just keep it open.
Yeah, you can just bounce back.
My parents, I'm on their medical. It doesn't matter. I can skip school maybe for a couple of days. It doesn't matter. But
I didn't need a reason to skip school anyway. So
I know we won't talk about that.
Yeah. Your dad's listening.
No. It's just I think he knows in any case.
Yeah.
But I'm actually for promoting school. I think a lot of people live in that thing that they think they're going to be a professional racer.
Yeah.
I think make sure you do get your schooling.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
if you can go to university, go and do it, or some college degree or something. But do it. I think it's very important. It's something to fall back on.
No. And you always need a skill or something,
And it's also association with people you're with when you actually study. They put you in a different kind of, different circle of people.
Yeah.
And it's just life lesson. I think even with racing, you learn how to speak to different people. It's if you come from that kind of like background. Yeah.
Like unfortunately, not everyone has the privilege of like the Deegan family. Racing from second, third, fourth generation. Everyone races in the family, and you've been kind of like
but they had their own things. If you go and look at Brian Deegan, it was only him and his dad.
Yeah,
and the way if you actually go and listen to his story, he had
he had it rough.
He didn't have it easy, and he actually rode hard, and he's actually the way he did it. It was a really good businessman, and I take my hat off for him. And the way he's doing it with his boys now is the right way.
Yeah.
People might criticize him, but the kid is quick. I mean, his boy's fast. He is definitely going to be something. There's no doubt about it.
Well, I mean, if they keep Jet Lawrence in the 250 class and they put them in later this year when they've got East vs West, I'm very keen to see that come down together. And then, I mean, they are talking about putting Jed on the 450 next year, or like trying him out earlier this year.
Yes, he's going to do it at the end of this year.
Yeah.
He's already testing the 450 as far as I know.
Yeah. Oh, but I mean, Deegan even rips on a 450 as well, dude. I mean,
yeah, but he's still too young.
yeah,
He still needs to win first on the 250. But yeah.
oh, that kid's gonna rip, dude. Like, you know, I had a little bit of like a hatred for him. Like, I was like, oh, look at this like spoiled little kid, got everything he wants.
When I saw him ride, like some of the videos you saw, like the helmet cam videos where he rode his 65 or even his 50 and 65s, how he just kept it open, and not crash. You know, it's like one of those kids that I was saying earlier.
Yeah, he's got it.
Like a kid that did that with me once in the UK was Tommy Searle.
Yes.
And I mean, I was on 125 doing British Championships at the time. I was scoring points. I was a top 20 runner. And I heard this little bike behind me at Mildenhall for like 2 laps. And over the jumps, I look back, and it's Tommy Searle on his 85, and he's chasing me.
Yes.
But he literally had that thing
like
flat
this pin,
out everywhere. But those are like selected kids. Not all of them are like that.
No.
And those ones are the ones you pick up. That's your Jed Lawrence. That's your Jeffrey Erlings. That's your Roxon. That's your Deegan. That's the next. They just have it.
Yeah.
It's quite annoying.
Knowing that we can't do that now, you know, like, you know, but one of these days, man, we'll get wide open again.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, been really right chatting with you.
That's cool.
Always cool.
Hopefully, I'll
get your bike fixed so we can go ride.
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting on prices and availability, and then I'll be at a track soon.
Yeah.
In the meantime,
we'll
go and ride this.
Well, let me know how it goes.
Break it in for them.
Yeah, break it in. Break it in.
I'll make sure that those rings are set properly.
Yeah. But yeah, dude. Definitely, I always try and send people your way. So if any of you guys want Andre's number, would like to come and get your bike sorted out with Andre, definitely my suggestion is come and actually get it done, because very honest mechanic, very honest person, amazing human being just in general. Like, even though you're short and full of shit. Yeah. But yeah, man, you know, you get my bike fixed, sorted for me, like you sort it out quick, no issues, like you're very straight to the point. So again, if you guys want to get your bike sorted out with Andre, drop comments, I will get in touch with you, I'll send you his number. Just
don't send me anything Chinese or quads.
Yeah, like I sent you my pit bike, that thing, yes, it did. Yeah, but you got it running, so.
Got it running.
Yeah, we got it running.
Won't talk about the previous mechanic that tried to.
Yeah, you know, as we said, you know, like some people are just too scared to try, you know, but I tried.
No, you tried.
Yeah, I tried.
But I showed you.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Now you know.
Now I know.
Okay,
carb pin goes in a very specific way, not the other way around. Yeah, no, but
cool, man.
Yeah.
No, I enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
No, that's cool, man. Thank you
for
for having
taking
me.
the time, and hopefully we get some good views, and
we get some good riding.
Gives a little bit more insight on
who you are, as this man of Andre is. But thanks, guys. If you enjoy the video, please like, comment, subscribe, send this video to other people, watch it again. Keep your eyes open for the next one. That'd be cool.
Thank you.
Sweet.